Alright guys, welcome back. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This was an ugly ass war for me, but this first fight was really great. We were trying to figure out how to take down a Longshot on Conflictor, and at the end of the day I went with a white mags with Vision Age of Ultron, and this fight was awesome. So I started off on a big high. This fight was great. I could basically prevent him from throwing any specials the entire fight. I don't have to worry about Conflictor at all. Vision doesn't put any debuffs on Longshot, and with the White Magneto pre-fight, it bypasses Conflictor, and you can see here I can just power burn him the entire time, and this fight was fantastic. So because I went with this, it's no one's fault other than my own, but I had a plan, because you know I always bring in my two accounts, so I had I wasn't supposed to go this path originally, but in doing so I kind of switched up my teams, and I was supposed to go path 5 in section 1 in the beginning with my other account. I was a little overconfident with what I thought I was going to do, and then underestimated the Conduit Global, because I haven't played that. This is my first season playing with the Conduit Global, and you can see here there's only one attack bonus on that one because someone had tried it, it didn't work, so I went in and had to fix that, which is why I ended up switching paths. And then here, this is Vivified Green Goblin here, and this fight I wasn't going to take it originally, but we were kind of pressed for time and I wanted to get it done. As long as he throws his special ones here. And Oc is really nice for the Conduit Global, because you can see when he hits me, I can get that heal block on, and the heal block will prevent him getting any healing from the Conduit Global. So I was pretty happy with how this fight went. But what happens basically later on, and we'll get there, is I took so long to get through a specific fight that I didn't realize how much space I had wasted on my phone. I lost a terrible fight, the recording, and a really good fight that I wanted to get a recording of. So I missed out on a bad one and a really good one. But here we went path 7 in section 2 as well with the junior account. We have this Domino on Spite, and Oc just absolutely shreds her here. Really love Oc on some of these fights here. And again, sometimes just stuff doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, whether that's parries or sometimes you get overconfident with something and it just doesn't work the way you wanted. But this fight works out great. And later on, we'll run through what fights I missed, like the recordings that I didn't get, and how badly I screwed those up, and where I got some a nice solo that I missed. So Domino is almost done. One more parry should do it. And next up is a Mephisto. Now, my plan here was Oc again. He is a conduit, and it is aspect of evolution and kinetic transference. And there are 2 times in this fight where my parries just don't land. There's no, it could be me, but you can see I parry pretty much the same way every single time. I'm getting the heal blocks. I actually got stuck and had to pause for a few seconds in the middle of this fight right there. But getting right back into it here, my parry works. Parry works again. Now, he is not going to get to a special 3 because I keep power locking him, but I really want to get to, I want the heal block on. So I'm kind of a little bit out of sorts, but that's fine. He keeps throwing that special 1. And right there, that's the first time the parry doesn't land, and I just get clapped in the face. And that's just extremely frustrating. So here I'm going to back off. Go back in, drop a special 2. And I just need to get back into the parry heavy game. So there we go. Parry heavy. Parry heavy. And that's what I go back into the special 2. I didn't get all 3 at 100, so I didn't get the heal block on. but that's fine. We go ahead. That's a nice big damage on the heavy. And again, same thing here. I'm just trying to get my parry heavies, and boom, my parry doesn't work for a second time in that fight. And I'm 100% confident that if I would have gotten the parry, that it would have been an easy solo. Because if I could get the heal block on him when he regens, I could actually siphon back that power. But you can see here, even with Conduit and the Incinerate damage that he puts on me, Doc Ock pretty cleanly takes the rest of this fight down. But again, you can see that one, for some reason, the parry heavies were not doing what I wanted on this fight. And for Doc Ock, that is really all I need. I need parry heavies in order to to get the best out of him. So again, he's going to keep throwing those specials. I'm really not worried about it. They barely do any damage other than getting clipped by it there. But once I can get back into the right rotation, then it's all good. Again, didn't get all my research categories to 100, so I only got the double power lock, but that's fine. We'll just do the same thing again. Go back in, get just to the parry heavies. There we go. Finally get the triple debuff, and he's done. All right. Happy with that fight. And then this Mangog one, if you used to watch my channel a few seasons ago, this is one of my favorite fights with Doc Ock. Mangog has natural power gain. This is advanced special 2, but he's not going to throw a single special. It's got advanced power gain plus his own power gain, natural power gain. All I have to do, again, as long as my parry heavies are working, I do not have to worry at all about this Mangog. It's extremely easy with Doc Ock here. We're going to go with a special 2. We are going to parry heavy. That's a really nice chunk of direct damage. Now, there are other methods to do this. I could go ahead, build up to a special 3, and go with the infinite power lock on him, where you just spam special 1s afterwards. But here he was dropping so fast that I figured I'd just go with the parry heavy method with the special 2s. All right, that was everything with the junior account. The main account, this is where I was stupid. I had Wiccan on my team for a Knull fight in Path 4, Section 2, Steady Unblockable. It was a beautiful solo. You can just back up with and hold block, and then you can block unblockable hits from Cosmics. With Wiccan, he's unbelievable for that Knull fight. There was also a Black Widow Clairvoyant fight where also Steady Unblockable. I brought in this Guillotine, which was bleed immune, but I think I did pick up another death there because I go in after her special 1 and got parried, which is extremely frustrating. And this fight here, I had a terrible start to this fight, if you haven't noticed already. I used to do this fight back in the day. It might have been with my 6-star Guillotine on my other account, but basically this is like ebb and flow knockdown. And instead of going with knocking him down, I would just build up Guillotine with the, as long as I can count to 15 and not get clapped every 5 seconds by this thing, then I can build up my hits, and then I don't even have to worry about knocking him down. But instead, I just had a terrible start to this fight. I'm getting clapped everywhere. I actually go down to almost nothing, and then I managed to salvage this fight where I almost end up soloing it. But if I wouldn't have had such a terrible start, then I probably could have soloed it. So you can see how much dead I look like. I'm dead in the water at this point, and I'm going to spend a little while working my way back and almost getting him down. But the plan initially was finish this fight with a special 3. Now, the next fight was an ebb and flow knockdown Mordo, but he's a conduit champion, and I did not take. It's one of those things that I'm not used to conduit, and I did not take into account how crappy that fight was going to be without a champion that can, let's say, heel block him. And if I would have just brought in like Doc Ock instead of like a synergy champion for Guillotine, because I thought I could do it with Guillotine, I probably would have been great. Or I was told I could have brought in APOC and Cable for these two fights, probably would have been better. I should have listened to the guys instead. But this is what I went with, and it just sucked. But even with this, I was almost able to get this one down. The next fight with Mordo, I got clapped like 3 times in a row at least. And I was pretty much demoralized from that fight. Wasted a whole bunch of items. Then again, like I said, I got clapped by Claire on Path 2, Section 4, before finally soloing Knull with Wiccan in the second fight on Path 4 in Section 2. So but these 3 fights here were just horrendous. I felt terrible afterwards, and it just kind of sucked. So you know what, you live and learn, and that's what sometimes these videos are for. You learn from your mistakes, but you know what, that's the best you can do, and hope you move on. It's just a game at the end of the day, and you move on, and we go on to the next war, and hopefully we can continue a strong season. So I'll let the rest of this one play out, but yeah, pretty ugly war. Some fun stuff with Doc Ock in that Vision fight, but some ugly stuff here afterwards. And I spent so long on the Mordo fight, the Claire fight, and then Wiccan on Knull that I didn't even realize that it had stopped recording, and I lost all that footage. So you know what, I'm the good with the bad, but that's what happened. And hopefully we'll have a better war next time. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.